Hey friends, it's Ellie. My friend Anna and I started Pepper Books because we wanted a book box that actually delivered what we were craving. Smart, sexy romance with tropes that we love and spice we could choose. Each month we offer 5 different boxes so you can pick your spice. Whether you're into slow burn tension or full-blown steam, we've got a box for you. You can subscribe or just grab a box when one catches your eye. No pressure, just fun. Our celebrity normie boxes just dropped, so don't miss out. Check us out at shoppepperbooks.com and find your perfect next read. Your TBR deserves a little bit of pepper. Now, on to the episode. Hi there, and welcome to A Day in Her Life, the podcast that's all about diving into the real, unfiltered daily rhythms of women just like you. Every week, we're sitting down with incredible women to pull back the curtain on what their days actually look like. You know those moments when you're wondering, how does she do it all? Well, we're here to find out. From morning chaos to evening wind down, we're exploring the nitty-gritty of daily life, work, family, and everything in between. Whether you're looking for a little inspiration, some practical tips, or just curious about how other women navigate their days, you are in the right place. Maybe you'll discover a game-changing morning routine, a clever time management hack, or just feel a little more connected knowing you're not alone in the beautiful mess of everyday life. So grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever keeps you going, and let's dive into today's chat. If you like what you hear, we'd love your support. Please follow us wherever you're listening, leave a review, or share the podcast with a friend. And if you want more A Day in Her Life, catch us on Instagram at A Day in Her Life Pod. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at adayinherlife.substack.com. Or if you have a guest suggestion, drop us a note at adayinherlife.com. I'm your host, Ellie Rinnick, and let's jump into the episode and let's have some fun. Welcome to today's episode of A Day in Her Life podcast. Today, I am so thrilled to be here with Sofi Madison. Hi, Sofi. How's it going today?
I'm so great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Sofi, for those of us who might not be familiar, can you fill us in on who you are, where you live, what your household looks like, and kind of broadly how you fill your days before we jump into them?
Yeah. Well, I live in Manchester by the Sea in the North Shore, just north of Boston. I have 2 little boys, 3 and 5, and my husband, Tom. I'm mostly spending my short work hour days consulting for independent retailers and hospitality teams. And yeah, that's my little nutshell right now.
Awesome. Let's do a few rapid fires and then we'll go from there. So,
Great.
Sofi, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Reading or watching TV?
Oh, my truth in this season is watching TV.
What are you watching?
Well, Heated Rivalry. Obviously, that's going to really
Obviously.
Yeah. And obviously part 2, I Love LA was so good.
Okay. I have to check that out. I also was in a deep Heated Rivalry phase. I had a medical procedure last week and I had to kind of isolate and just be by myself for a number of hours. And I just rewatched all of Heated Rivalry and it was so worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say in isolation is the best way to watch that show.
It's an alone show.
We were all like...
I woke up before everyone the day after Christmas so I could go to the cabin alone and not have to deal with my family. Sofi, beach or mountains?
Beach.
I figured in Manchester by the Sea, there's only one answer.
Truly. Yeah.
Sweet or savory?
Savory, for sure.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Let's go vanilla.
And then can you describe your days in 3 words?
Productive, present, and fast.
Fast. Ooh, that feels very true in this phase.
Yeah, in it.
So, Sofi, let's start with your mornings. What time do you get up? What do you have a morning routine? What does that look like? And then kind of take us to getting your kids out the door or to wherever they go in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
So I'm such a New Englander in that I have 2 very different sets of schedules based on the season. So if it's summer, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. and having my coffee on the porch and meditating and breath work and everything before the day starts. In the winter, I am so much more of a bear, and I wake up at 6:45 and I'm slow to get to all the things. I don't wake up before my kids. My husband does the whole day, the whole morning before school. So yeah, I'm in my, I wouldn't call it like winter blues, but realistically, I'm in my less like exciting morning ritual season.
Your hibernation phase.
I'm truly hibernating. I'm gathering calories. Let's just say that.
In this phase, what time do you typically get up, and what does getting yourself ready look like?
So I'm up at 6:30, 6:45, and I'll get up, go to the bathroom, do the things, brush my teeth, and then just head straight down. And at that point, my kids are already downstairs playing. They're playing together. They're in this like juicy time of life where they're like really, they're 3 and 5. So they're like locked in, like Magnetiles Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband's making breakfast. I'm so lucky that he's just like such a morning person. I feel like that could have been on his dating profile, like clean machine plus morning person, like check, check. And so I'll just kind of like float down, and I'm in this moment where I get the like, mommy's awake. And it's the benefit of the sleepy winter bear mama, because the day is already like moving by the time I enter it. So I just like slowly merge into it. Coffee on an empty stomach, like all the things you're not supposed to do. I just settle right in, and then we're like 45 minutes out the door to school.
Do you drop your kids at school? Are they at the same school? What does that drop off look like these days?
Yeah. For as long as I can, we're going to prioritize a single drop off. Like something about it, just a single drop off is like currency to me. A single drop off, single school calendar, right? Our boys go to this beautiful little nature school out here. It's part of the Waldorf program, or it is the Waldorf program. And it was like always a dream to be able to be part of that school. We're doing it for just 1 year, but I drop them off together. Drop off is in between 8 and 8:30. And the school has like a really special, like slow morning. So parents are standing, talking slowly to each other, catching up. And it's like that real sense of community, and the privilege of space and time is something that I've really noticed, because the days like come and go. And so often if you don't catch yourself, you're like rushing a drop off and getting in the car, and like you're quickly on your phone before you reverse and get on the road, and it's just a lot. And so this school, again, we only have it for 1 year based on, just our choices, but it's a nice, slow, wholesome drop off right now where we're able to like really pay attention to the kids and the teachers. It's pretty awesome. And then I hit the road and I'm like back, because I only have the flexibility of work hours from 9 till 2:30 before I go pick them up. So it just feels, that's what that third one was. Like it really is a fast day.
Yeah.
2:30 is wildly early.
Yeah,
to clock out.
It is. It is. And it feels, I don't know about you, but for me, my like flow time is like 2 to 5. That's when my brain is like most functioning. And when I have to pick up my kids early or something like that, and I can't focus in that time, I struggle personally. How do you?
I do.
Yeah. Is that your flow time as well?
Yeah, no, it really is, because you're just getting into the depths of your day. And meeting my frustration with that is not allowing myself to mentally have those tabs open when I'm with my kids, because this was a very deliberate choice to be a working plus stay-at-home mom. And I don't know where I thought that could work out, but that's what we're doing. And half-day work days, but being full entrepreneur and trying to just be really present with them when I pick them up, because I had a super full-time working mom. And so I know what it's like when a parent's late to pick you up because they couldn't get out of work. And so I hold some of those like sensitivities. So I try to let that help me make some of these decisions as a mom. We can get more into that, the therapy of it all, but
No, I appreciate that. And I feel great. My mom was a full-time working mom as well. And I feel really grateful that I can work from home because I feel like that also allows more flexibility than my mom had working in a corporate office. And the being home of it all is often adds just a little bit of comfort when if the kid's sick, you can just bring them home.
Can you imagine don't you have so much sympathy for our moms working so hard, working full time? I'm guessing your grandmother, her mom, was staying at home full time, right?
I actually come from my grandmother was not a stay-at-home mom, and my great grandmother was a lawyer. So like,
you're born into this,
which is wild. Yeah. So being a working mom has kind of always been not the path, but what I was planning to do.
Amazing.
And yeah. It was, which is different than my dad's family. So it definitely goes in different directions.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun the way that like what inspires us and the fact that you're able to, the tech to support working and being a mom is like such a leg up. I know our moms would have loved to have that choice at the very least.
I mean, even just talking with my mom about, this is such a tangent, but pumping as a working mom. My mom went back to work with a battery powered pump that she couldn't get any breast milk out of. And then I went back to work with my first and made Diamond on Delta and had the in-bra pumps on the plane into California. Isn't that wild?
Wow. That's amazing to be able to do that. I mean, what a privilege to be able to have some of these things.
Yeah. So Sophie, getting back to your days, when you settle back in for work, what does your day look like? Do you schedule certain days to have certain themes? This day is when I try to schedule one-on-ones or meetings, or this is a no meeting day. How do you approach that when you think about your days?
So my days are organized before I get to them because I only have a limited number of hours. Well, we all do, but mine are, just until 2:30. And so I get to my notebook where it's all organized out. My calendar obviously corresponds with that. Every day I'm working with my clients. So every one of those days is open. But the first few hours of my day are for outreach, for admin, for, the things that just take me longer and that I need to be like hitting it hard because once I lock in with my clients, like my promise is to be so present with them and to really absorb because what we're doing is going into their business. So that's when I need to have no other thoughts in my head. So I try to get all that, the busy out of my brain so that I'm not like wishing I could be doing something else while I'm doing that. There's so much of that like multitasking computer work. And I don't know if you've been on meetings with people where you can see that they're like in a different thing and they're like over here and you're like, hello, this is insane. Yep. Like we're actually, I see you, your video's on, And so I am sure that I will never do that to clients. And I just think we haven't quite stabilized with how busy we are and how much we can get done to what the person across from us deserves as far as presence. And so that's how I organize my days, is to be really busy for a couple chunks. And then when it comes to those meetings, it's just like lock in.
Awesome. You mentioned the intentional decision to be a stay-at-home and working mom. I know you've had a few different iterations of career before doing consulting. How did you kind of get into consulting, or kind of what led you to the path that you're on now?
So years and years ago, I had Olives and Grace, which was my shop, right? And I started consulting for brands then. And that was super fulfilling. I just didn't have a lot of time to focus on that. It was like something that I was doing throughout the day, throughout the weeks. And then once I slowed down, I did try on a couple of different things, consulting, building a private membership for female founders. There were a couple of different projects that I took on and clients that I took on. And ultimately, it just kept coming back to the people that were asking for advisory. And I was like, God, this brings me so much joy. Why not go back and serve the person that I was, serve the exact road that I just walked? So it was just kind of like simple. I guess I could have gotten back to this place so much faster, but I just wanted to give myself like the playground of exploring what does the next chapter look like and not feel like it had to look like a straight continuation from where I left off. I wanted to try like just new things, it's like picking up a new instrument or something, like trying a new sport. I wanted to be playful about my career. And then lo and behold, here I am being like, oh yeah, no, that totally tracks. This is exactly what I was doing before is exactly what I want to do. I just want to do it in a different shape. I didn't want to be locked into a physical footprint of having a shop. I loved that more than anything. Every day I was doing what I loved. But then I had kids and my lens of love just completely shifted. You know how it goes. And so as soon as I was starting to outgrow that, I shut it down and I was like, I'm going to believe that there's another way to do similar work, but not be like afraid of Christmas and not be afraid of, weekends because that my kids don't see me on the weekends. That was just never going to be for me. Again, probably because my mom was working so much. I was raised by a single mom. And so my vision of work is that it can really take you away. And I hold that sensitivity for my kids, and I just want to be mindful because I know what I look like when I love what I do and I go so deep in it. And so I'm just trying to like keep myself a little bit measured. Computer work is a great way for me to stay measured because I am not going to be swept away for 16 hours doing it. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No, you're going to try to get out of it.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, oh, looks like the day is done. But when I had the shop, it was like days blended in and I never wanted to leave. And so it was a good boundary to change the shape in a way that like wasn't going to let me overly be consumed by work.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that and the context and how you thought of that. Sophie, 2:30 rolls around. I imagine it's a scramble as it often is of, oh shit, it's 2:25, gotta go. What does that, what does pickup look like? What does that early afternoon look like with your kids?
It looks a lot like witching hour. I feel like my boys go through like witching hour and it's like petrifying because they come home beastly hungry. So the car is like full of snacks to feed them back, So I've got a car full of snacks. We pick them up. It's like tiptoeing. My 3-year-old is like just waking up from a nap. So he's all sensitivo. My 5-year-old's da-da-da and push me on the switch. There's like a lot of feelings coming up. So we're just trying to be there for that. And then we come home and I just let them play and kick it and jump or meltdown or whatever they need to do. We'll read some books. And then I slowly start to try to prep for some level of dinner. But yeah, it's a lot of feelings at that hour, I would say. I think it's the hardest part of it is the hardest part of my day, no doubt, is like walking that line of how to make home feel safe and quiet and relaxing and full of choice. Because, our kids are so young to be told kind of like how to be and where to sit and how to listen and when to respond and all of that. So we just want home to feel like a comfortable place to fall apart if they need to,
And fall apart they do after daycare all the time.
They sure do.
Also, there's some sort of a Pavlovian response about the car and snacks. I don't know what it is, but like my daughter will eat more snacks than is sane in a day the minute she gets in the car. It's, I'm still hungry for something else.
It's like the movie theater for them. They're just like...
Truly. The movie theater of
or like
I
the
ask
airplane
for a song and then you play it and then I sing along and I want more snacks.
Yeah. It is such that song. My boys right now, I don't know how this happened, maybe Shrek, but they're really into All Star. And so every day it's like All Star. And it's a good one. It's definitely, it's like one of those like intro to music songs where they're like getting a lot of the like kid boppy stuff, but there's lyrics to it that are not about, the Lion King. So we're getting there. We're entry. But yeah, a lot of All Star right now.
It's better than having your 3-year-old sing Hot to Go loudly on the playground for everyone to hear. I'm just like, well, there you go. That's what she likes. And still her favorite song. Sophie, what does dinner look like in your household? When you said you try to get dinner ready, what are you cooking on an average night? How do you prepare it? Do you guys eat together? What does that look like?
All right. We eat together every night. My husband works. He has a little office in town. Like truly, it feels like I can be like right in town, right up the street here. Such a little small town. And we eat around 5:30. And I've got a slightly picky 5-year-old eater. And I'm trying to meet him where he is. And so the best way to do that for us is like little meze. And so it's a couple different sliced raw veggies for him to try. A lot of it he's not, going for, but just little snacks of protein and healthy food. At the end of the day, my boys are like plain pasta, butter, salt boys, like hard crush carbs. And that's probably because that's all I ate when I was pregnant with them. And I know that it's like a safe, simple color. But yeah, we eat together all the time. My husband and I are just like super agreeable with what we eat. Roast veggies, protein, la-di-da-di. We make pizzas. But yeah, we just try to like explore foods. And we're eating almost let's see. I think what my husband and I eat and my kids eat, we're still on different pages, which kind of sucks. And I don't know if you have any recs as far as getting everybody into the same dish, but that will be good for our finances and that will be just so fun for everybody. But yeah, what do you do as far as getting everybody on the same page for meals?
We're still in that phase. Like my son is 7 and he'll eat more food, like adult food, than my daughter will. I serve it to her every day, but I know she'll eat rice. So last night we ate there's this peanut pork Brussels sprout dish in the Caro Chambers cookbook that my son calls the brown meat, which sounds disgusting, but he ate two full servings of it and rice. And so he will just house that. My husband loves it.
Yeah.
I love it. My daughter does not like it, but will eat the rice. And so sometimes I just put extra pasta on her plate. We always have a container of pasta in the fridge that we cook enough for, then you just nuke a few noodles here and there and throw it on her plate. So same thing. We're not quite there, but we're similar where we eat dinner at the same time. I serve them whatever we're eating, but then there's always something safe on the plate because inevitably someone's not going to want it.
Well, you know that she's getting closer because it's like a gateway drug. Like she likes the rice with the flavor. She's pretty close to liking the whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
We're getting there.
Eat plain white rice.
Yeah, we're working on them. Slow and steady. But it's I read somewhere like giving him the vegetables even if you won't eat it. Like I read somewhere that you had to expose your kids to some foods like 27 times or something like that, and then they'll eventually start getting there. But it's a slow process and a tedious one at that.
That is so tedious. I don't know that I have the like forecasting for that, but it's a nice idea. I mean,
I don't think you have to measure it, but I just remember hearing
but
just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Also, having a dog during the little kid eating phase is like the best. My dog gained 7 pounds when my son started eating.
Your dogs just keep trying. Keep trying.
Yeah, especially the eggs and the cheese. Keep those coming. Yeah. After dinner, Sophie, what does after dinner look like for your family? What does bedtime look like? And then your post-kid bedtime time?
Yeah. So bedtime, we're still all in sync and in flow together. So my husband, I'm so lucky. I feel so lucky that he's a really present dad because period. Full stop. He and I just tag team until 8:30 or 8 o'clock. So we'll do tubby. They wrestle. They get like all
the willies
down,
out.
like boy energy. Yeah. And it just gives me a heart attack because there's just every corner is being like almost lights out, but they get all that out. And then we go upstairs, a little bath. They bathe together still, which I love, the dubby tubby. And then we'll do books, and then all 4 of us tell a story and we make it up, and none of it makes any sense. It's perfect. And then they'll go to bed. And once they go to bed at 8 o'clock or so, my husband and I, then it's like choice time, right? And then it's like our playground. And we're like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And ideally, we don't just get on our phones and catch up on that free time, but that happens. And So yeah, that's when we'll typically get back on our computers for an hour or so. Sometimes my husband even longer. And then I'm in bed by 10:30, which is actually pretty late for me. If I had it my way, it would be like a 9:30 lights out. Um yeah, and my husband's a super late night guy. Like he loves to go to bed at 12:30, 1, and which is just like the dark side to me. But yeah, I just can't mess with it. And if I do, it's because I was doing too much work. And if I'm on the computer before a night, I just like sleep like shit, you know? So yeah, that's the deal. It's pretty much like a sleep 10:30. Again, if I'm being my summer self, I'm like reading myself to bed and it's so charming and light and healthy. But my winter self is let's crank in a little bit more, you know, because it just is what it is.
Well, and it's dark at 4:30, so you feel
It's
like you're in
dark.
the middle of the night. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough.
It's dark. And remember, I'm coming off witching hour. So like I've got to heal a little bit.
Exactly. I too have a later bedtime than I'd like in this phase, but I feel like the time that you have after the kids go to bed keeps shrinking. And so you try to fill that with as much as you can in that window.
Yeah.
But
is there a faster hour in the planet than 8:30 p.m. to 9:30? It's like a 10-minute window. It has to be the most coveted real estate of the day. I can't believe how much it's done. And before you know it, it's 10:45 and you're like, here we go. We're getting to 11. I know we are.
Yeah. It's time travel in that hour. Sophie, how have you or in this phase chosen activities for your kids? Have you explored different sports or how have you chosen to approach that for your family?
You know, I feel like we're really slow to the draw on sports because we're in the burbs. I mean, we're by the ocean, so I like to pretend like we're not in the burbs, but I think this is the burbs. I'm so petrified of this chapter of driving around for sports. I don't know why. It just sounds like kind of hell to me to be stuck in the car, driving, schlepping, and I don't know. So we're a little slow to the draw. And I think part of that is just knowing that it's about to kick in and kick up. And when I was growing up, by the time I was 6, I was on a competitive swim team and my mom was dropping us off at Harvard to swim for 2 hours before school when like I was a little kid and we were on a national swim team like all growing up. So I also have this thing of like how intense it is for parents that you're constantly traveling, constantly like sacrificing all of your time. And the fact that my mom's 40s were completely occupied by our competitive swimming is just like kind of insane to me. So therefore, I think we're waiting until this spring to start putting our kids in little activities because right now they're just having so much fun being free and we're having so much fun not dividing and conquering yet. Because I think that's what happens, right? It's like you divide and conquer. It's like you go here, you go here. So we're in that little just before it picks up cocoon. Because once our 5-year-old's in sports, our 3-year-old's going to be like, I want to kick a ball.
Yep.
You know? And so, yeah, I think our entry is probably going to be swimming at our local gym because I want the boys to feel more comfortable for the summer. They're such water babies, but they've still got floaties on. So we're going to work on that. And then I think basketball sounds nice because you're inside and warm and cozy, right? Like basketball.
Yeah, except it's so loud. It's so loud. So I am a noise, like too much noise and overstimulation. I need to check out. And so basketball has actually been the one that I have not taken my son to once because I know that the like noise in the gym is just gonna like
the sneakers, the whistles,
the balls, and the kids screaming. So
you just changed so much for me. You just saved me like a registration check. Okay,
I'm out.
I feel you. I think maybe safe to just start with soccer because that feels like kind of a cute
good one. Yeah, and it's cute. And you chat with the parents on the sidelines. And tennis is my favorite because the place where I do tennis, he goes into the court and then I sit in like an armchair and do work for like an hour on a Saturday. I order my groceries and it's silent. But I hate baseball because it's 3 days a week and I don't have time for that. So
this has been so helpful for me. I feel like I need to surround myself with some parents who really know around the corner, because I was thinking about this all wrong. I was like, okay, basketball, there's snacks. I'm warm, tiered seating with the bleachers. I can kind of avoid if I don't want to talk, but I can be in my nook. But you're so right. It's loud, and that's going to drain me. Oftentimes the lighting is rough.
Oh,
okay.
Certainly. It's not flattering, the fluorescent lights. So
yeah,
I outsourced that one to my husband and let him handle that.
Despite my heated rivalry love, I do also want to stay away from hockey for now. And I know that that might get some backlash because I have some good girlfriends and their sons love ice hockey. Their daughters love ice hockey. That's going to be too cold for me. That's just going to be too cold. I don't want my feet cold inside.
I truly am aligned here. And hockey is one of those sports that you are at the mercy of everyone else for ice time at that age. And my husband was super into hockey. I sent a picture to my friends yesterday of a picture of him at 7 playing hockey. And they're like, oh, why hasn't he pushed hockey on your son? And I was like, I think he read the room on my son's like athletic interests, and B, he knows that it's a completely solo mission if he wants to do hockey, because I will have nothing to do with a 6 a.m. wake up time or a 5 p.m. on a Friday hockey time. That's just not my
dark.
energy.
That's like you walk in, it's one day. You walk out, it's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Witching hour in the car still exists. You're hitting grumps.
It's even
worse.
Hitting
snacks. Yeah, totally.
Because you don't have the right snack inevitably.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, I need to go back to the drawing board on all this because I sound so selfish, but like the sports.
No,
really
you have to figure out
life.
what fits into your schedule. You absolutely do. And what fits into your lifestyle.
So new here. Yeah.
You're not late to this though, because honestly, I put my son in soccer too early and he did not enjoy it. And at the end, I was like, why did we do this? And I feel like there was no point in actually having done that.
Well, and a lot of times people will say, get your kids in sports to like get that energy out. For sure, that's valid, but there are also so many ways to get the energy out where you can go for a hike. You can, maybe hike's extreme already, but you can go for a walk. You can go to a farm. I mean, I'm so suburban with my responses, but you can go to the beach. You can run for.
You can go to the beach, yeah.
Go to the playground. Get it out.
You're reminding me, I had a similar conversation with Andrea Whitewick, a guest a while ago, and she was saying how they didn't sign their kids up for sports for a while, but they did a lot of hikes and movement because your kids learn proprioception and balance in those ways that you're learning in organized sports, but you can do it as a family.
Okay, she sounded really wholesome with her response. I was like, because we all want to do it. And she's, oh, it's an agility reel. That sounds very kind.
Sophie, speaking of activities, what activities do you do during the day for yourself? What do you prioritize as self-care, whatever that looks like for you in this phase?
I am going on a lot of walks with a good podcast. That is like my most delicious treat. A coffee with a friend to really catch up, ideally not about work, but everyone that I'm close with is pretty passionate about what they do. I do you know Cara Duvall?
Yeah, Range.
Yeah.
I've been a Range follower since I actually used to take her Pilates classes in person at C2 not in the South End, down in Southie, like in 2013, like a long time ago.
Yes. So she is a good friend. I'm loving doing her a movement from home. It feels so good to just kind of like get into the body and not have this like pressure performance or anything, but really like more of an opening up movement, because that is synonymous with what I'm trying to do with my days and with my heart and with my family and with my work and everything. So that type of movement, whether it's like deep breath walk, solo podcast, or Range, the idea of not having it be too intense is allowing me to be more consistent with it, which is consistency is just my focus right now in life, because I feel like I just got myself back in many ways from both babies. It was 2 C-sections. And so being kind of like knocked out from like the center and trying to get back into the belly, the back, the soul, and like the sore, everything. Movement that gives me pleasure and ease and curiosity has been so good. So for anybody out there, definitely recommend range and a
I
good
love
walk
range.
too. Yeah.
And
me too.
what I love about her movement, I loved about it postpartum too, is she's got very good cueing and like it brings you into your body and like what feels right in the right moment. And postpartum, and I did it while I was pregnant, was such a great supportive exercise rather than forcing yourself to do something, is kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah. And she really throws down. I mean, Kara will throw down and snap you out of, I think she's very aware that she moves in such a beautiful way. Mm-hmm. And she's really, because she's watched other people move in beautiful ways as a dancer her whole life, she's very in tune with, I think, us viewing that she's so good with it that we get into our heads about how we're moving. And so she can kind of just snap you out of it and be like, let it get weird. Nothing needs to look
like the
good.
Jitterbugs.
The jitterbugs, and reminding you that we're not here to look good. We're here to feel good. And because I mean, I don't look like Kara when I wear like spandex shorts and an oversized sweater. Like it doesn't do the same thing on me, but she is not about that. Like she's just really about like, how good does that feel to love on yourself like that? So grateful.
Very good. That's a good reminder. I'll put a link to range in the show notes for anyone who's listening.
Yeah. Great.
Speaking of, or thinking of your household management and running the house, how have you and your husband divided responsibilities? How do you outsource anything these days? Groceries, laundry, what does that look like for you right now?
So my husband is the cleaner, the day to day. He's very type A, which I just love about him. When things are disorganized, he gets worked up, and I don't. I'm like, oh, it's lived in. Look at this. I don't like a mess, but I don't mind when things feel kind of like in mid motion. So he's very good at putting things away and washing everything and all of that. And then we have cleaners that come every 2 weeks. So that's super helpful. They'll be here in about 2 hours. That is wonderful because, as you know, it all adds up. And then I think that's all that we outsource. I mean, unfortunately, we do Amazon Prime sometimes for Whole Foods if I just can't get out or if I don't want to sacrifice some work hours for groceries. But yeah, I'm mostly the point of contact for the kids. And he kind of tidies up around us everywhere we make a mess.
It sounds like a good balance.
And then I will say in the summer, for anybody who follows me in the summer, we have somebody who details our car. And there was this time over the summer where my husband thought our car got stolen. And so he freaked out. And I'm very like, leave the keys in the car. This is why we live in this community. Leave the keys in the car. Don't attract this like energy where you have to lock everything up. That's symbolic. Just be free, be chill. And so one day my husband called me and he was like, the car's gone. The car's gone. And I was like, oh God, he's right. Like I shouldn't have left the keys in the car. And there was like construction happening on our house and everything. So we thought like maybe somebody like saw that we left the keys and whatever. And meanwhile, it's like this cute little boat detailer who in the off season comes and details cars. And he just picked up our car and took it back to his house and cleaned it all out. So leave your keys in the car. There's no threat to it. Yeah. Just a random little memory tangent that you can delete, but
I imagine you get some good sand in it living near the beaches during the summer.
Yeah.
It's a necessary function.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sophie, how do you stay organized for your business, for your family? Do you use a shared calendar? Do you use an analog calendar? What does that look like?
We do have a shared calendar. I personally use Notion to keep everything organized and Slack and from a business perspective. And then I'm pretty analog. Like I love a notebook. I love a checkbox. Was born in 1984. Like still want to handwrite things, still want a good pen. But yeah, that's pretty much how we communicate. And then, good old fashioned text a list to my husband. And we're in touch throughout the day often. I think that anything that falls through the cracks, we're still in a place where things can be forgiving. Again, we're not in sports yet. Like school hasn't picked up. There's not a whole lot of color coordinating that needs to happen just yet. So we kind of like are just holding on. We're like just barely like communicating in between two ships in the night.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
We do this shared calendar, but we have a lot of ships in the night, and I travel for work often. And so making sure that all of those things are visible so that there's nothing falls through the cracks is essential. And we do kind of weekly calendar alignments, if you will, which sounds very corporate, but kind of has to be to get all the things to function right now.
Did you come from corporate?
I work in a startup, and I've worked in corporate healthcare for a while. Yeah.
It's so good to have corporate back, like corporate muscle memory, because that structure is so healthy to a creative day, to creative endeavors, to be able to have that, like you meet something that's living and breathing like a creative, career with the structure of how things actually get done. I think that's awesome.
It actually dovetails perfectly with my next question, which is how do you express creativity in your days right now?
How do I express creativity? Okay, so I guess this is like a little lame, but I am really enjoying using social media as my creative outlet. It was that way when I had OG. I was able to just be free with it, and it felt really good to just let it flow. And then I started to think about it. When I closed my business, I started to get a little guarded on, well, what is a creative social media when you're not talking about your business? And I didn't want to show my kids all the time on social media. So I have now gotten back to this place where I'm using social media as just a curious creative expression that now correlates to my longer format or longer form on Substack. But just sharing what's coming up and trying to put a little bit of shape around it, a lens that is true, and just having fun and being curious and not having social media get to this end goal, like not having like a sale or a funnel or like a goal at the end of it, but just letting it be this kind of like documentation of days for, if nothing else, to move through stagnation or confusion or whatever. I know not everybody enjoys like showing the in-between, but to me, like the in-between is like where I have the most fun, not the certainty of a creative endeavor, but like exploring what it all feels like and documenting that process to me has always been so enjoyable and so rewarding.
So Sophie, I also saw on social media that you are part of Meet Boston. I don't know a ton about it. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means?
Yeah. So Meet Boston is hosted by Jenny Johnson and Billy Costa. Billy Costa, I feel like anyone from Boston knows, is the host of Kiss 108. And Jenny Johnson, his partner in so many different creative projects, is the two of them host Dining Playbook. And I met them like over 10 years ago. They used to come into Olives and Grace and ask me like to tell my small business story and showcase the brands that I sell and everything. And they are so good at telling like the small business story. So that's when I met them. That's when Jenny and I became really good friends. And so then they just invited me to be part of Meet Boston, it airs on Nessun. So every Saturday, a couple of us content creators are going to be live on TV, going around and showcasing like what makes Boston so special. So the small businesses, the restaurants, like who are the chefs, the locations, like the history of the city. And that has been such a fun way to take the curiosity and the creative expression of content creation and also merge that with the small business profiling that I do in my work, in my retail therapy sessions with retailers. So it's so fun. It's so wild to do something that's on TV because it's, oh my God, like the opportunity for things to be embarrassing is high because you're not the one editing it. But it's also, who cares? You got to get out of your own way and do the thing, and
Yeah.
no one's thinking about us the way that we are concerned about. So just being able to like use my voice, continue to use my voice to shine light on small businesses and people who are like building community and really doing the thing is just so dope. And I'm really excited. This is such a good season.
That's awesome. I can't wait to watch. I'll have to check that out because obviously we love Boston as well. Pivoting a little, Sophie, how do you make time for relationships with friends in this season?
Such a good question. I think that what helped me was to really shrink my friend circle. Pre-kids, like for so many of us, the circles could be so big, so large, and you could spend a lot of time just like lightly catching up with people you were like kind of close with or whatever. And now I just prioritize my really rich friendships that a lot of my friendships go back, 20 years. And so I would say shrinking it as a quality over quantity. And we don't have super stable childcare right now. We have somebody who's great, but she's busy also working with other families. So an occasional friendship, like friend night out, can happen. But a lot of it is like good voice notes, good phone calls. And then like once every 2 weeks, I'll make a friend date out. But it doesn't actually happen that often, which is kind of hard for me because I'm such a social person. I'm such an in-person kind of gal, but everything is seasons of life. And so right now I'm just in, how to be most present as possible. How are you doing friendship circles? How are you doing friend groups?
A lot of group chats, a lot of Marco Polos, a lot of sending memes here and there, the occasional check-in text, just like, I was thinking about you, just so you know. But yeah, it is seasonal. And like you said, it both expands and contracts in different ways. I feel like when my kids were little, it was really a contracting, and now it's a little bit more expanding into parent friends and trying to find friends that have kids the same age so that we can kind of chaos dinner and just let that ride rather than having to do solo parent friend things, if that makes sense.
I've got to add this to my notes of things that I am a little nervous about is like the alignment of kid connection and friend connection as adults. Wow. That's like really hitting green lights, and you just got to like hope for the best.
Yeah. And when you find it, it works out so well and the kids all get along and you don't have to worry about them, and the parents can sit outside and grill and chat, and the kids are running in the lawn causing chaos, but you're not worried about anyone like mortally wounding the other one. That's really where the magic happens.
And also my husband and I talk about this as like a huge priority is in trusting the parents of the kids that your friends are friends with. And we are just entering that. We are just entering like, how do you gain that trust and kind of assess where your kids are safe in proximity to? Not to be such a downer, but like what else could be more serious in life? It's like the adults that your kids are around.
Yeah. And making sure they're trusted and the kids feel safe in those environments. Yeah. We're like just at the start of drop off play dates, which was something we felt like forever. And
when does that start? What is that, like a 7?
My son's in first grade, so he's 7. And so it's really been around this year.
Wow.
And they've been having a good time, which is fun. It's fun to see him kind of blossom a little bit.
And yeah, that's what it really is.
Similar to relationships with your friends, how are you making time for your relationship with your husband? Are there certain things you prioritize, like date nights or dinners out or lunch together on work days? What does it look like right now?
I would say it looks like something that is in the red and that like super needs work. We're just like not modeling the healthiest dynamic there. I think because my husband comes home at 5, that feels like our commitment that we can honor, or he comes at home at 5:30. That's like the big commitment that we are both very proud of, that we have dinner together every day, every evening. But we don't have a regular date night or anything that I know is so essential. And I think we're just running really low on that. that is just, let's just say if we saw a therapist, we would probably start there. That like we just don't have that going on. We're going to LA at the end of this month, and that will be our first time kind of being like husband and wife, no kids. We we bring our kids on every trip. We are very much like a pod. We're like such a pandemic family at our core that we still have done everything as a unit, and we can hardly get sentences in together. Yeah. So we're really not modeling a successful romantic relationship right now. Like we are good, but it is not through the practice that I think is going to be what we're like. We are not going to be rolling the dice like this forever. We are going to put some systems in place at some point, but right now we're just like, let's just have dinner together. Let's get to bed together, and as long as we're happy, we're good. I do think the summers will be so critical for having date nights and sitting on the deck and like playing backgammon on the porch and things like that make us feel good. But again, like once the sunshine hits, like a lot of creative imagining happens and things go down. But for now, we're just, one shift to the next. We're just really in it. We're really in it. And again, my youngest is 3. So like, I try to not have this expectation that we are further along in this process. Mm-hmm. Like we are still very much prioritizing our time with our kids together. And that's what's the looks up while our kids do something cute. That is our romantic connection where we're like,
yeah.
That was our date. It was quick, but that was it.
We had a moment.
We still got it.
Sophie, are you using AI in your day-to-day life at all?
I used AI last night. I was making chicken and I asked if I should do like a Mediterranean or an Asian. I think like for recipes, it's been really fun because you're getting that play-by-play where I was like, okay, yes, but you said to put the oven at 425 and what if I did this at 400 because I was also adding this? I think getting some of that support from like the mom or the dinner prep has been so great. I also used it. I think this is like not as recommended, but I just recently did all of my like hormone testing and all my like, you're a 41-year-old, make sure everything's good kind of test it with my doctor. And then I put all my results in to get guidance on my vitamins and which one should I take at which hours and which one needs to go with for my like iron and my K and my D3 and all that. So I think just getting a little bit more like eyes on the overseeing has been super helpful. But awesome. I definitely am not someone I'm personally very much not going to use it on any like personal language content communication because that's one of the only things that I hold and lock personally.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One thing, I don't know if you've used it yet, is Notion AI is so cool to find things. Amazing. You're like, I know it's here, but help me find it. It searches Slack and all the other things. So that has been like, for me. It's hard to unsee that. It's hard to unsee. Oh, wait, no, this is how this whole thing was supposed to go. This is how this operation needs to go. Okay. Sophie, what is a ball that you are dropping or something that doesn't fit in this phase of life and we are okay with that? I would say traveling for work right now is something that I miss and I love so much. There are a lot of opportunities that I get invited to, like a speaking or recording, and I want that so badly. I love to be alone and I love to fly somewhere new and see people in person, but it's just not in the cards for me. And to me, it's actually not worth the disruption of me being gone. I love the flow that we have in our simple little days right now. So that's going to take the back burner, I would say, until next year when there's a little bit more predictability and like the momminess of it all is kind of pulled back. And then I just can't wait to be like, I kind of romanticize, oh my gosh, I could just meet you in Miami and we could do this in person and we could record it you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for quick flights, like a 1 overnight leave in the morning. I love it. I love that. And I miss that so much. I can relate to that very deeply. I used to travel 36 weeks a year, had kids. I traveled a little bit before the pandemic. And then once the pandemic hit, I really didn't travel for consistent for work until this past year, and kind of coming back into that. I do miss my family when I'm gone, but I do try to make the most of my trip. I'm like, I'm going to find a good restaurant, even though I'm going to this place in Fresno, California. I found a great chicken restaurant and it was excellent. And so like finding the little places that can spark joy, even in a work trip that might not be the most fun.
Yes.
Really, I think you can make it a little bit of a retreat for yourself.
Can I tell you something? Okay, this might sound like so harsh. Maybe it's because I don't travel enough. I don't miss my kids when I travel.
No, I mean,
I don't know what that is.
I actually can relate. Like I miss them. Like I miss them giving them a squeeze, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm good. Like
I feel like I miss them in theory. I don't know what that says about me, but I think what helps is that we don't FaceTime when I'm on a work trip. We don't FaceTime. And I think that breaking the seal would kick it all up for me. I think I go into like old school. I like compartmentalize it and I'm like, show on the road. Look at me. I can have a cocktail on the plane and like my coffee's uninterrupted. And I love it so much. I don't miss my kids when I travel. And my husband will come back. I'll come back and my husband's like, did you miss us? And I'm like, no, I'm so happy I'm home, but I didn't miss. If we're being honest about what missing is, I know what missing is, and I didn't miss you guys. And I think that it's because I do quick trips that it's like, I just don't miss. If they were babies, maybe, but if they're happy, I'm not missing them on a 48-hour go away. Just not.
And they're doing just fine.
Yeah. They're fine.
No,
and when I come home, they're just like, did you bring us a toy? I'm like, see, you didn't miss me. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. I can relate to that so deeply. Sophie, what are you obsessed with recently? What is sparking a lot of joy?
I'm loving being creative through Substack, the long form nature of it all, and being able to, sometimes do audio and sometimes just kind of like break up what would otherwise be a super quick moment and like just take your time with it and get back to the human experience of it all. Substack is where I'm profiling hospitality teams and how they are driving very human connected experiences. And I'm loving breaking down how a hotel, for instance, can make you feel something through their intentional decisions. And I guess the reason why I'm loving that so much is because, for one, it's a huge part of what I do with my work with clients. But more than that, it's strengthening all of that analog work. It's strengthening and turning up that human side when we are otherwise so on our phones, so on our devices, so speedy and multitasking. It's like, what are the places that slow us down? And I'm actually really loving reading other people's experiences in a less rushed format and reminding us that we're not going to shit here. We just need the right environment, the right ecosystem online to tell those stories of how we are still connected,
I love that. And my next question, and you can tell us the answer, is, Sophie, how can people follow you and learn more about you?
I am most active on Instagram. It's SOFI Madison _. And my website showcases the work that I do with small businesses, and Substack, where I profile different places and people that bring more human connection.
Is your Substack Sofi Madison at .substack.com?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I will link it in the show notes for everyone.
Oh, yay. Thanks.
Sophie, what is your favorite? That's okay. What is your favorite part of a day in your life?
I think that my favorite part right now is doing meetings and conversations like this, where I feel so in person. I get to catch up with people who do what they love and love what they do, and they love how they're doing it. This brings me so much satisfaction to meet with other founders, and specifically women who happen to be mothers, who are just like, I don't even want to say messy about it, because I don't think that is fair. I think we're just along the journey, and I feel so much less alone when I keep good company and I'm surrounded by good conversations like this. So this will definitely be the best part of my day. So thank you.
Awesome. Sofi, thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast. This has been so fun to chat and connect, and I can't wait for the episode to air.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of A Day in Her Life. I'm your host, Ellie Rinnick, and I am so glad that you're here. If you're loving the podcast, please share it with a friend, drop us a review on podcasts or Spotify, and tag us on Instagram at A Day in Her Life Pod. If you have any feedback or guest suggestions, you can send me a message on Instagram or on our website, adayinherlife.com. Also, you can subscribe to our newsletter from our website or on Substack, adayinherlife.substack.com. Each week on Fridays, I share a newsletter with some things that I'm loving, things that I'm eating and making for my family, and some things that past guests are doing out in the world. I would love for you to follow along.